Georgia O'Connor, a rising star in British boxing, has passed away at just 25 years old, leaving the sporting world, her loved ones, and her admirers in profound shock and sorrow. Her untimely death comes mere months after publicly sharing her diagnosis with cancer, a devastating revelation that struck a chord with many who followed her career and admired her tenacity in and out of the ring. Just 3 weeks before her passing, she had celebrated one of the happiest moments of her life, her marriage to the person she called the love of my life. What should have been a chapter of joy and new beginnings was instead cut short by a cruel and relentless illness. Georgia's promoter, Boxxer, released a heartfelt statement that reverberated across the boxing community and beyond. In it, she was described as a true warrior inside and outside the ring, a fitting tribute to a woman who faced life's most formidable battles with dignity, strength, and unwavering courage. The message continued, mourning the loss of someone who embodied not only athletic excellence, but also a powerful resilience that inspired many. The boxing world has lost more than just a talented athlete. It has lost a symbol of determination, integrity, and heart. Although no official cause of death has been disclosed, Georgia had been transparent with her supporters and the public about her health struggles. Back in January, she made the brave decision to open up about her experience with the healthcare system that she felt had failed her at a critical time. She recounted the frustration and despair of repeatedly seeking medical help for ongoing pain, only to be dismissed by professionals who accused her of overreacting. In a raw and powerful post, she wrote, "They gaslit me, told me it was nothing, made me feel like I was overreacting. They refused to scan me. They refused to investigate. They refused to listen." Her words were not just a cry of pain, but also a call for accountability and change. She added, "They could have done something before it got to this stage, but they didn't, because this is the state of the NHS, a broken system that fails young people like me over and over again." Her story struck a nerve, particularly among young people and those battling chronic illnesses who have had similar experiences of being dismissed by medical professionals. Georgia became a voice for many, speaking up even as she battled for her own life. In February 2024, just a month after sharing her cancer diagnosis, she revealed she had also been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, an autoimmune disease that causes inflammation and painful ulcers in the large intestine. This revelation added another layer of complexity and hardship to her already tumultuous journey. She didn't stop there. She also shared the heart-wrenching news that she had suffered a miscarriage earlier in the year. In the midst of these unimaginable challenges, Georgia remained open, honest, and unyielding. Her openness brought comfort to others experiencing similar struggles and helped shine a light on the often invisible battles many fight behind closed doors. Despite these painful circumstances, Georgia O'Connor never stopped being a fighter. She carried herself with the same determination and drive that had defined her boxing career. Inside the ring, she was a formidable opponent. With a professional record of 3-0, she had already proven herself to be a rising talent. Each match she fought showcased her skill, discipline, and unrelenting spirit. Long before she turned professional, she had already made her mark on the sport. At the 2017 Commonwealth Youth Games, she earned a gold medal, a shining testament to her talent and hard work. That same year, she took home a silver medal at the Youth World Championship, and the following year, she claimed a bronze at the Youth European Championships. Her accolades were a reflection of the promise and potential that she carried, potential that, tragically, will never fully be realized. Yet Georgia's story is far from just a tale of lost potential. It's a testament to the depth of human courage, the willingness to speak truth to power, and the capacity to inspire change even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Her decision to share the truth of her illness, the failures of the healthcare system, and her personal losses was an act of extraordinary bravery. She could have stayed silent, focusing only on her own private battle, but instead she chose to use her voice to fight for others. That selflessness, that drive to make things better for the next person who might find themselves in her position, is the true mark of a champion. Outside of the ring, Georgia was known by those close to her as a fiercely loyal friend, a loving partner, and a woman with a sharp mind and an even sharper sense of humor. She had a vibrant spirit that drew people to her, a warmth that made her beloved in every circle she entered. Her social media posts reflected a person who, even amidst her darkest days, held fast to hope and love. The image of her wedding, held just 3 weeks before her death, stands as a powerful symbol, not of an ending, but of love in its purest form, celebrated even in the shadow of immense uncertainty. She called her partner the love of my life, and in doing so, reminded everyone of the importance of cherishing the moments that truly matter. Georgia O'Connor's death is a profound loss, not only for the sport of boxing, but for all who knew her, followed her journey, or were touched by her story. She was a beacon of strength who fought with every ounce of her being, first in the ring, and later in the far more personal and brutal fight against illness and systemic neglect. Her legacy will endure not only in her athletic achievements, but in the courage she showed by speaking out, the empathy she extended to others, and the love she shared so freely with those around her. The silence left in her absence is a heavy one, filled with what-ifs and could-have-beens. But it is also filled with a collective resolve to honor her memory by listening more closely to the voices that too often go unheard, to fight for a better, more compassionate healthcare system, and to hold fast to the values she lived by: resilience, honesty, and love. The image of her lacing up gloves, stepping into the ring, sweat glistening under the overhead lights, will remain etched in the minds of those who saw her fight. But it's not just that image that will stay. It's the memory of her laughter, the fire in her eyes, the strength in her words when she challenged the status quo, the courage with which she embraced both joy and suffering. The echoes of her struggle and triumph will reverberate in locker rooms, in hospital waiting areas, in every conversation about change and justice, in the hearts of young athletes who dream of making a mark but fear they won't be seen. Georgia's story will be told in full, not just the victories and the medals, but the moments in between when she stood up not only for herself, but for countless others. She was more than a boxer. She was a truth-teller, a change-maker, a soul too bright for the darkness that tried to claim her. Those who love her will continue to speak her name, not just in grief, but in gratitude for all she gave. Her legacy won't just be in the past. It will live on in future fights, in reforms won in her memory, in every heart that beats a little stronger because she lived. We honor her now, not with silence, but with a promise, to do better, to listen, to fight, to love as she did. Rest in peace, Georgia O'Connor. You were, and always will be, a true warrior, and perhaps the most powerful tribute we can offer. Georgia O'Connor is not in flowers or medals or moments of silence, but in transformation, in how we treat young people who come forward with pain, in how we respond to women who advocate for their health, and in how we push institutions to live up to the promise of care, fairness, and dignity. Georgia left behind more than just memories. She left a challenge to the world she fought so hard to survive in, a challenge to be braver, kinder, and more relentless in our compassion. Let us rise to that challenge, carrying her name not as a whisper of sorrow, but as a rallying cry for change. Her spirit now soars beyond the ring, beyond hospitals and heartbreaks, lighting a path for all who come after her.